Chatting with Cherubs.
Hello and welcome to Chatting with Cherubs with me, Josh Jones, and the wonderful
Morgan Rees, and I'm here with the magical
Gearoid Farrelly. Good morning, cherubs.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all doing?
Good morning, good sirs.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How do you do, good sirs?
Good morrow to you all. I'm good. I'm in Cardiff. I'm in your neck of the woods.
Yes.
Morgan. Yeah.
How is she treating you?
Very well. Very well. What I will say is I do think the people are aggressively friendly here.
Ooh, in what sort of way?
So this morning, the coffee in the hotel is shit, right? So I was like, well, we're doing a Cherubs record. You know, daddy needs to be up. So
I have two cans of Diet Coke right in front of me right now.
Yeah.
Went, got myself a coffee. And but I had gone down for breakfast and I had like my notebook with me and my key and my phone. And then I went out to the shopping centre just across the road, went in, got a cafe Nero, was walking back. So the coffee in one hand, notebook in the other hand, I was walking, and then my lace was open, right? And lace was open, and then this man was
Do you mean on
by.
your shoe, or was you wearing like a sexy wedding dress?
My sexy wedding dress was open
Yeah.
to my crack.
You know, like some people go to the shop in their dressing gowns.
Yeah.
Gearoid goes out for a coffee in his lace thinky number, in his lace commode.
And I was walking, and then this man was walking by. Well, he wasn't a man. He was like, he was a young man. Let's say he was probably like mid-20s, like maybe 20, 25.
My age.
Josh's age. Was walking by, and he just said, your lace is open. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then this other guy that was walking by, like a very old man, like I would say like probably 70?
Your age.
You really set him up there, Gearoid.
Really? What is wrong with me? He saw the young guy say to me, your lace is open. And he just said, like, there's no point in telling him his lace is open, help him. And then he started to like get down on his knee to tie my lace, right?
Wow.
I was just like, this is... I'm not okay. This is not good. And then these two women were walking by, right? They were like two, maybe in their 50s. And one of them just stopped and looked. She's like, oh, he's doing your lace. I thought he was proposing. And I was like, has Cardiff been on an all-nighter? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I just expect the other woman there to go, oh, I thought he was fucking sucking you off.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm checking out of the hotel later
today. On his knees.
Yeah, that's mad that he tied your shoelace.
But also, it took him ages to get down on his knees. I was just like...
Double knot it.
Yeah.
You were shaking your foot about.
Yeah. It's like, thank you very much. This has been incredibly weird.
That's a man that wants to do someone's lace up, isn't it? Because that's not what you do when you see someone's lace up. Because
Go on.
If your fly was undone, he's not going to come up to you. Just go, your fly's undone. Well, help him then.
Let me get this, tiger. It was very weird. Very weird.
Oh my God. All of that I can't do. Was there any eye contact throughout?
No, he just got on with his job.
Did he do the full lace?
He did the full lace and he did a bow, which was also a bit weird. Like a proper...
What do you say? Do you say thanks?
Do you not do a bow with your shoelaces?
Yeah.
What do you do?
No, it was, you know the way you just kind of nod it and do a little bow. This was very much, because like the laces they're kind of chunky laces, so this was very much a bow. It's like, there's Gearoid with a ribbon on one shoe. It was weird.
I had a weird interaction yesterday. I had to go to Media City. I was doing this thing for Radio 4. And I got off the tram and it was dead windy. And I got like tears in my eyes. My eyes get like really, like, do you know, with wind, it does make my eyes water quite a bit. Yeah. But I don't. It's not like I get noticed all the time because I don't. So it's like occasionally I'll get, "Oh, you're Josh Jones," and it happened that I got off the tram and I had wind in my eye, and she went, "Oh, you're Josh Jones, comedian," and then she went, "What? Are you all right? You're crying?" And I went, "No, it's the wind." I said, "The wind makes me cry." But then I don't know if I was like oversaying it, like, "No, the wind makes me cry." But then I didn't know if it was like, does it sound like I'm getting emotional by the elements? I don't know.
Yeah, because the wind was the thing that took my family.
Yeah.
So, I think she probably would just thought you were crying because you were on your way to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Josh Jones's backstory? It's basically the Wizard of Oz.
So, go on.
I did have a little thing like that when I was on my way back from, was it Barcelona or was it? I can't remember. It was a flight last week, and I was on a plane, and my cat popped up on memories, and I was just looking. Then I watched cat videos, and then there was a little tear, and the woman beside me looked at me for a bit too long, and then when I was getting off the plane, when she was getting off the plane because I was in the middle seat, she just went, "You're very good in Dancing with the Stars," but she did this weird squeeze in my hand, and I was like. She did. I just know she went home and she was like, "He's mental."
Yeah. Do you think he was still crying about Dancing with the Stars 9 months later?
I think she just was like, he was crying.
That's so
bad
funny.
reputation. I swear to God, if I get a new pet, next time I get a pet, I'm not telling anyone I have a pet. I'm not putting them on Instagram at all, ever again.
Just get one of the ones that live for ages, like one of those kimono dragons. Are they called kimono? Are they called kimono?
Yeah,
a kimono dragon. Do they live for ages? I feel like lizards live forever, don't they?
Yeah, I think lizards have turtles and all that sort of stuff.
I know someone who, when I was younger, they had a turtle and it died. And then it was dead weird. They said, "Yeah, my dad didn't take it well. And the night before we buried it, he slept with the dead turtle in the bed." And I've always remembered that because I thought that's a bit weird, that actually.
Do you think he spooned it or used it as a pillow?
I don't know.
He probably scooped it out and used it as an ashtray.
Because you can't cuddle a dead turtle, can you?
No, you can't really cuddle a live one, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's the turtle that's doing the heavy lifting.
Our mum stayed on the sofa so the dad could stay in the bed with the turtle for the night. And I remember thinking, this is really weird.
That's really weird.
That's really weird. That if any man goes, "Leave me alone with the turtle," I don't trust him.
Yeah.
Or leave me alone with the dead turtle.
Yeah. I think he was just really emotional and he wanted one more night with the turtle.
Yeah.
But it were dead.
That poor turtle. Because they can't get away, even if they're alive.
Yeah.
They're so slow. The turtle's just slowly going, "It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again."
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. Thanks so much for listening to Chatting with Cherubs. We have a main episode every Thursday and a bonus episode, which is our pub quiz episode, every Tuesday. If you would like to help the podcast grow, we would love it if you could like, share, subscribe, but best of all, tell somebody about the podcast that you think may not otherwise hear about it, because word of mouth is always the best one. Also, if you want to get in touch, chattingwithcherubs@gmail.com.
So we went to the Lake District. We went to T-Bay Services.
Love T-Bay. Gearoid, have you done T-Bay? Because obviously this is a very British thing, but you might have done a bit being on the road here.
Is that the one that has it's kind of built into a hill?
Possibly. Gloucester and T-Bay are the same company and they both look like that.
And it is in the countryside. It's on the way up to the lakes and stuff. So if you was gigging in Carlisle, you might drive up to there or whatever. But it's got it's got this farm shop and all the food. It's not like
so
a normal
good.
Services, so all the food is proper posh. And anyway, I got this venison salami. Give it all the dog. The dog loves this venison salami. I'm not even lying.
This dog. If we get Richmond sausages when we stay over, and she's having venison sausages from the petrol station,
I gave it. Yeah, but I love that tea-based services. I was thinking of moving to the lakes just for that.
The only thing about giving dogs fancy food is when the farts start.
Yeah. For a dog of her size, she has massive poos as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Venison salami will do that to you.
It comes out as it goes in, I heard.
But because I told you she's scared of laminate, so she won't walk on laminate, so she won't come in the kitchen. But she sits at the kitchen door. But now, if anyone's in the kitchen, she knows to come to the kitchen door because I keep fucking throwing sausages at her. So every time I'm really ruining her. So I think I need to stop because he's getting a bit mad at me because I'm just keep giving her food when he's not looking.
I love that your dog is...
You have to stop, Josh. You have to stop.
I love that your dog is... You've just basically got a bougie dog. It's like the dog's like, I'm not walking on laminate. It's mahogany hardwood or nothing. Not with these paws.
But yeah, she won't walk on wooden floor or anything. She needs to only walk on carpet. We don't know what that is because obviously she's a rescue, so something bad might have happened or whatever. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she won't walk on it. I was trying to teach her to walk on laminate, so I was putting sausages on the floor so she'd come. But she would stretch in and eat the closest one. But then I felt dead guilty, so I kept pushing him closer to her. So, she makes me feel dead guilty when she looks at me. So then I just give her and say, oh, fuck it. So I'm trying to teach her sit, right? So we keep teaching her sit, and then she gets a bit of food. But then when it was the salami, she couldn't sit because she was so excited. And then after 10 minutes of saying sit, I just went, oh, fuck it. And I gave her loads.
We would be having words if you and me were partners, because that's exactly what Janet does.
It's so hard. It's so hard to deny them. Like I remember when I brought my cat to the vet, and she was like, I thought the cat was had lost dramatic amount of weight because there was like fur hanging down a bit, and I was like, there's something weird going on here. And they were like, your cat's obese. That's why there's fur hanging down your cat. Is like, and I said to my friend, I was like, oh my God, she's like, they said she's really fat. She's got to lose like 2 kilos or something. And I was like, that's because I'm always so strict with her food. And my friend was like, you're not strict with her food. And I was like, no, I am. I take it very seriously. And then she sent me back a video of me spoon feeding her creme fraiche. And I was like, okay. You make an excellent point.
Do you know
with a ladle?
The neighbours, right? So this is a bit of a long story. The neighbours got chatting to me brother the other day. Because my brother was staying here, and they said, "Oh, they've got a dog now." Because my brother was babysitting the dog while I was away, and my brother said, "Yeah, they've got a dog." And he was the neighbour said that James went round ages ago and told them they need to stop feeding our cats cream because the vet said that the cats were dead fat, and James was having him on a diet, but the cats were going next door and they were giving him cream in the bowls. And James was fuming. He was like, how are they putting weight on? And it was because they were giving him cream next door. So he had to go around and say, stop giving me cats cream. So I bet they think we're hiding our beds next door now because of that. Fucking hell, we're getting shouted at for the neighbours for giving the cats fucking bit of cream. But my brother ended up in their house, right? Because while we were away, I got a phone call saying it all happened by this point. He ordered a Nando's and my front door's self-locking in it. And because he didn't want the dog to run out, he shut the self-locking door and just left him in the porch, got his Nando's, but then the front door was unlocked.
Oh.
And he was just in his socks and it was pissing down raining. So And he didn't have his phone on him. And obviously, we've got a friend who lives around the corner who's got a spare key to the house, but he doesn't know where they live or whatever. So he had to wait in the neighbour's house for 2 hours, and he paid to get an emergency locksmith out to my door. So when we came, my brother phoned me and went, bit of bad news, your keys don't work.
I'm squatting. It's my house now.
He was like, your keys don't
my dog,
work.
my cat, my house.
He had to pay. He said, I said, I'll pay a bit of money for. I'll pay as well. Give you money towards it. And he went, no, it's my mistake. I want to pay it. 500 quid for an emergency locksmith. Yeah.
No.
So he was looking after our pets for 2 days, and he ended up spending 500 quid. And he said that he rang 2 people, and they said, no, we won't do it because we need the homeowner's permission. And he couldn't phone us because his phone was in the house. And then he said, anyway, he phoned this other bloke, and he went, yeah, I'll do it. So that guy
probably would have cost £100 if it was legit. It's just the dodgy one was 500 because he didn't know whose house it was.
Well, it's funny because James has locked himself out before because it's self-locking door, and another locksmith locked the door and let James back in, so we didn't need to get a new key. And this locksmith said to me, brother, this door's unpick lockable, and then charged him 500 quid. And James went, well, that's a fucking lie because it's been pick locked by us.
So did you get a whole load of new keys?
Yeah, so we got so Morgan, your keys for my house don't work anymore.
Oh yeah, that's good to know.
I'll give you a new one.
Now it's become clear. Now we see what the problem is. So comes right at the end. Morgan, that key doesn't work anymore. It's all been an elaborate ruse.
It's all just a lie to get me rid of the key.
But Morgan's got a key because whenever he gigs up here, he can just stay at mine then, and I don't have to be there. So I will give you a new one.
No, you're too kind.
I think that this has also been a proper big brother life lesson for you, Josh. Like, I think Sam has just thought you don't just shag your way in. You just change the locks.
Yeah, just change the locks. But I did.
No, in regards to, I was in Torquay for the last 2 days. I was down in Devon, I was in Tavistock, and then I was down in Torquay. Proper down in there in up Devon. And it was proper... Torquay, there is nothing more off-putting than an off-season seaside town.
Oh, God, yeah.
Good Lord, just empty fish and chip shops.
It is
empty
very
arcades.
It is very post-apocalyptic sort of, Walking Dead sort of vibes.
But the shops are open. That's what I'm just like, why are you open? Shut. It's so eerie hearing. And
nobody
there's
on the
no
streets.
one having fun. It's empty streets.
Was you there on a weekend as well?
Friday. Yeah, I was there on the Friday.
Oh.
And I would say the average age of that town was 106. And it was just, and you know when old people get so old that like they look like the same person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you've got the same,
Gearoid.
you got the same thoughts, you got the same opinions. If they're lucky to keep their hair, I'd say after 80 or maybe 75, when couples get their own the same haircut, short back and sides. Fuck me, some of these men and women had the same beards. It was.
Torquay is a very strange place. I was only there once, and I arrived there like at about, I don't know, 6:30 in the evening, and then went for a little wander before the show. And it was off season. I think we were there in November, and it's very strange when it's.
Well, I'm gonna find the name of the chap. What's his name?
The chap.
Something.
The chap. I'm going to find the name of the chap. That chap we spoke to. What was that chap's
Hello,
name?
fellas.
What was
Morgan
that
Rees
chap's name called? Oh my God, what is it?
It was Charles Bronson. You know, the criminal.
Oh yeah, didn't Tom Hardy play him in a film?
Yeah. Well, when I parked up I saw on the map there was the True Crime Museum was around the corner. And I went, well, I'm not huge into true crime. I like murder mysteries for the puzzles.
Was the True Crime Museum just a picture of my front door? Being unlocked?
Yeah. They say it's a museum. They say it's a museum. It's actually just a block of flats. Just where it all happens.
So I went to the True Crime Museum. It was just an alleyway, and then I got mugged. I went. Yeah, sorry.
No. Go on.
And I went in, and it was around the corner. So I was seeing all these empty chip shops, all these empty arcades, all these empty floss places, all these empty fudge shops. Then around the corner, and it was like a dark, dangerous corner. And I just saw this man and woman coming out, and she was shaking. The man went, well, of course it was going to be bad. It's true crime. And I went, oh, wow. This place is going to be really fucked up.
Did you go in?
I went in. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't go in. I chickened out because it was it looked derelict, just white walls, looked like prison, and just a guy there, piercing blue eyes at the counter. And I said, oh, so what is in here? And he said, oh, it's like a lot of eulogies, a lot of knives, police uniforms, smuggled bits of evidence. And I mean, like, none of this is like, none of this sounds great to me. But you could see he was so excited to talk about it. And then I leave. I'm not going in there. I don't feel particularly comfortable. And it turns out it was that person is Charles Bronson's son.
Oh.
He's well known in the town. To the point that the rumor is that apparently when Charles Bronson dies, they're gonna take his brain and it's gonna be on display in that museum.
Is Charles Bronson not dead?
No.
They're gonna put his brain on display in the True Crime Museum.
Yeah. So and it's gonna be on display, and his son is gonna be looking after it.
That is the weirdest. That is so weird.
It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that True Crime Museum, like if she came out terrified, there's probably a feature where at the end they just shoot somebody in the head. There's just like a punishment beating before you leave.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like a bit
true
of
crime.
Because Agatha Christie used to go down there all the time because there's all these salt baths down in Torquay. And I thought it was going to be something like that. But it just turns out, oh no, that's the policeman's uniform that arrested Fred West. And you just go, oh God. Turns out I like murder mystery puzzles. You like crime and knives.
Yeah,
and
give me a bit of
awfulness.
Thursday Murder Club. That'll do.
So he's more famous. I didn't really know much about him, so I was just giving a quick read. So it's that he's more famous for being a violent prisoner than his crimes, if you know what I mean.
What put him in prison?
I don't know. Sorry, it just says first arrest was a petty criminal. He was convicted and sentenced in 1974, blah, blah, blah. I think he's been a few times, but a lot of it is he's been quite violent while he's in prison, I think.
Wow. So like he was in prison for like not doing his VAT, and then he went in and was like, I think I'll behead someone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
just escalated. Yeah. Yeah, you can see how it would.
I told you, I think we've spoke about this before. That's going to be me. I'm going to do, like, if I was ever to go to prison, it'd be for something small, but I'd then, so I don't get battered, I'll go for the biggest guy.
Yeah. You'd go for the biggest guy.
Yeah.
And you'd power bottom for him, and then you would be like that.
And who is the biggest guy? Jesus. And he'll always be on my side.
Chatting with Cherubs.
Like my favorite thing in the Catholic Church is, when you go to a wedding, like in Ireland, there's a lot of Catholic weddings, but when there's an obviously gay priest who is officiating a wedding, I find that absolutely hilarious. He's like, just look at me. He's like, isn't she absolutely beautiful? Well done. Oh, you're absolutely, and you got a nice handsome man for yourself. And everyone's like, okay, rein it in, princess. just get to the kiss to bride bit. Like there's some we've got some tapas that we're gonna eat here, so like wrap it up.
Yeah, we know which dog collar you'd rather be wearing.
Pulls his rosemary beads out his arsehole.
Josh wins. As regards to controversial jokes, Josh wins.
You're the one who's talking about gay priests.
But there's loads of them that are gay.
Hey,
That's what they used to do in Ireland.
But
like,
those beads, and are those beads not inspired by rosemary beads? The bum plucky, do you know the ones you put on your bum?
Yeah. I don't think there's any inspiration. I think that's a happy coincidence.
Shape. Yeah.
Like rosary beads are like to count how many Hail Marys you say.
Oh, is
like,
it?
Yeah. So
yeah,
you
like an abacus.
You move the beads on. So like, it's not like you pull a bead out and go, Mother Hail Mary.
Oh. I just thought...
You just say a Hail Mary for everyone going in.
Oh, so how many beads are on a rosemary bead?
So in a decade of the rosary, there's like 10 Hail Marys, an Our Father, and a Glory Be to the Father. Is it Glory Be to the? I don't know what. There's another prayer. I can't remember what it is. But yeah. So basically, like they don't lose count, because the last thing you want to do is an extra Hail Mary.
Do you not think we should go to a church and go to a mass for like a Christmas special?
Oh no! If the three of us went in, we burst into flames. I think.
Yeah, I told you when I was in when I played Snow White, and when we did Snow White, and I played the evil queen at uni, we did a video thing, and we the original Snow White story, the queen melts at the wedding. So we did it in Salford Cathedral, and I was in drag, right? But my nipple kept popping out, and the priest kept looking at me like giving me really bad evils. And there was a woman in there. Do you like when the priest has like one of those fucking
the sacristan?
Yeah, I was going to call it like a roadie sort of thing. And she's just she's putting all the leaflets out or whatever. Like she proper fancies him though, doesn't she? Like we all know it. So she's having like, she's doing her sins in the box. What's it called? The
confession box.
Yeah, she's in the confession box, apologising about wanting to shag the guy she's given a confession to. And then she comes out, and I got proper bad evils by the priest and this woman, because my nipple kept popping out, right? And this is how unprofessional this is the teacher, one of the teachers at uni. And I said, oh God, I feel a bit bad actually being in drag in a church. And as a joke, she started flicking holy water at me.
And it just landed and evaporated.
Yeah.
That's what. Do you remember what your melting acting was like, Josh?
Yeah, it were like a lot of like, and then pulling my corset up because my nipple kept popping out.
My first ever. One of my first ever proper acting jobs, which still hasn't come out, so I'm still wrapped up in NDAs. I think I can say what this. I have to pretend to be in agony in one of the scenes, and I farted because I have to wither around, and because we've been waiting around all day, I'd had so many Diet Cokes and I farted. It was such a small room because it was all CGI.
But did it come out on the mic? Like, did they know? Oh, do you guarantee it as an editor now with a cut of that? That'll show it. Yeah.
So when this thing comes out, just know when you see me, I farted doing that.
Is it the? Can I say?
No, I know. I haven't told you.
But is it a video game?
I'm not sure whether I can say.
Oh right, okay, never mind.
I'm proper wrapped up in NDAs.
I know you've done one of them before. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah.
I can't believe you've actually stuck to your NDA and you've not told me.
Yeah.
When I've signed an NDA before and I've told you.
I remember my friend who I do another podcast with, Agony Rants, Neve. She kind of won Eurovision, but she did Celebrity MasterChef, and they were very strict NDA on that because they film it in advance, like it's all done before it even starts. So I knew she was doing it, and I knew she was doing well because she was in Dublin for quite a bit. And I was like, you must be doing really well. And she's like, I can't say. And she gave me a lift home like after the series wrapped. And I was like, did you win? And she was like, I cannot I'm just not telling you anything. And she dropped me off at my apartment, and then I got out of her car and I was walking around the back of the car and the boot just opened. And like there was a trophy in the boot. And I just closed the boot and I was like, nothing was said. Fair play.
That's funny.
There is not the one thing I don't miss about clubs, right? Because I don't do clubs as often as I used to. And like, it's the fucking smell of the mic.
Oh.
There's nothing like sickens me more than even, when you're playing a festival and then you go up to the mic and the mic fucking stinks because somebody that was on before has filthy breath. It's just the most horrific thing.
I've never had that.
I've had that a few times.
How close are you getting the mic to your face? You don't have to lick it, No,
but like a mic that stinks. I hold the mic down like my chest level, but like a mic that stinks, it just. I definitely think COVID cleaned a lot of that. I think all the mics were cleaned, and I'm very grateful for COVID. It was, oh my God, that was the one thing I don't miss. It used to.
Disgusting. Clubs are still my bread and butter. I think I'm the mic stinker. I must be the one stinking them up.
I've never noticed you with bad breath.
Never.
No,
the guys have a chewing gum before they go on. That's the way it works.
Well, I take a toothbrush because of when I spat food on one. I had a sandwich once and a bit of bread were in the back of my teeth and it fell on someone on the front row. And then I didn't know what to say. And I went, "Ooh, appetizer!" And then just carried on talking. I was so embarrassed. And I went up to him afterwards and went, "I'm so sorry, I spat food on you." But I just scrammed a sandwich before I went on. So now I take my toothbrush to gigs. So I brush my teeth before I go on. Because my teeth are very grabby. I've got very grabby teeth that grab the food and they keep the food in. I've got lots of teeth in my mouth, actually. And then kind of like pushed together. They're like, I quite like my teeth, but there are loads of them and they're kind of real old food in the crevices. Do you know what I mean? So I have to give them
or dentist dream.
Yeah, I have to give them a proper fucking dig out when I brush my teeth. Is that gross? Is that a bit gross?
I think that the thing that annoys me about myself on stage is that sometimes I spit. And whenever I see it, I'm just like, how is this happening?
Yeah, I do that.
I think we should stress, like, when you're talking, you're not like a footballer that just like does it on the floor.
Yeah. I told you about the time when I was hosting a festival and it was like 1,000 people. I think you was there, Morgan. It was when I was in Bristol, maybe. I think it was there. And I was hosting one of those big outdoor festivals. You know the one I meant. You've done it.
Bristol Comedy Garden,
Yeah. And anyway, I was in the Portaloo and they were banging on the door like, Josh, we're starting the show in 2 minutes. Like, come on. So I finished my wee and I did the little shake. Do you know the little shake that you do?
Yes.
And you will. And then
futile shake.
I washed my hands and then I went on stage. I got off stage. I've been tagged in about 30 photos and I had a big patch of piss right there on me. On my crotch. So now I have to give myself enough time for a wee before a gig, like half an hour or whatever. And now I give it a proper good shake. Now I shake it like a town crier. I'm just in the toilet like, yeah. But I think as well, I used to use urinals a lot more, but now I use toilets because I don't know if it's because I'm in my 30s, and 30s isn't even old, but I feel like I get more little, do you know, a little after wee drop? Like I don't trust when my wees are finished. So now instead of a shake, I do a shake, but now I do get a bit of tissue and I do a bit of a dab. Do you like do you like when you've got a cold and you put Albicyle on a tissue?
Yeah.
Do you get that, or are you vapor rubbers? I don't know, but I just do you like that? So I have to like dab me willy dry. Do you? Is this relatable? Do you two do that?
This is very relatable content.
Well, that's what women do when they go to the toilet.
What do you do, Morgan? Are you a shaker or a
I'm a
dabber?
shaker. I put it back in and then I take it back out because there's always a second attempt. There's always a reserve.
Whoa. You put it back in?
Yeah, so like shake, put it back in my pants, and then I take it back out, and there's always more.
You're like tricking you, Willy, like you think you've got me. You haven't.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You play mind games with you, Willy.
Well, I do a lot. Fair play to him.
Yeah,
but like
I really gaslight my Willy.
I mean, I would just give it a shake. If I'm going on stage, I would do like the end of a Cool Pop. Like the end of a Mr. Freeze. I'd just like
try to get the last of the toothpaste out.
Yeah. Exactly. But I've never thought to play mind games with me cock. Like,
I'm a dabber now. I dab me Willy dry.
But you know what? I'm going to dab straight after this. I'm going to see how I feel.
Because that's a big favourite of mine is weeing on stage. Having a little patch of wee on stage.
Oh God, yeah. Mine is being sick on stage or crying on stage. I have like, I don't know how people do. Well, like we do, like you see people that do these big emotional shows in Edinburgh and then somehow manage to cry at the same point every night for 30 nights. You're like,
no,
okay.
I was going to say,
I've never seen you.
Where's that going? I haven't seen a show where someone vomits.
No. I've seen it where the audience cry at Gearoid shows. We just wanted to leave. And
they go, no, it was the wind. It was the wind.
He's locked the door of this shipping container. It's very unsafe.
Have I told you when I saw that contemporary theatre piece? I saw this contemporary theatre piece and it was these three people trying to replicate a waterfall. Have I told this story on the podcast?
No.
So, right, one of them is stood on a chair, these three girls, and then and she's got like a glass of milk, right? And then there's a girl stood underneath her with her hands out like this. How do you explain that? Like open.
Yeah, open palmed, a bit like when Oliver was asking for more.
Yeah, a bit like that. So the girl on the chair with the milk, a girl stood underneath her with her open palms, and then a girl underneath her on her knees with an open palm. The girl at the top swigs all the milk, spits it into the palm of the girl stood underneath her. She then drinks it, right?
No.
And then spits it into the palm of the girl on the bottom. And then she washes her face with it. And then I was sat there like, I don't get this. I don't think I get this.
I don't want to get this.
I don't want this at all. Yeah.
Can you imagine the morning of rehearsals where the director comes in and says, girls, we're going to try something today. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But stick with me.
Yeah.
Stick with me.
That shout, that was the person at the top's idea, wasn't it?
And you know that one of them needed it to be oat milk. But I just think that... But I just remember thinking that was really weird.
That is weird. I was going to say this for the next podcast. Can I tell you another weird art? We went to the National Portrait Gallery because we're coming up to the end of the podcast. And there was these thing called death masks. So things just before people die, they have this mask on. So there's a replication of their face. And there's other people that have already died that they, through imagery and sort of like technology, they can guess what that mask would look like from images. But there's one person that makes a living living death mask. What is a living death mask? He's replicated his head. He's done but it's made with his blood. It's 10 pints of his own blood and it's a replica of his head. So he got the mold, and now he fills it up with his own blood. It's the only exhibition in the National Portrait Gallery that's in a fridge. And it's
Is he frozen it? Is it not in a freezer?
Ish, freezer, fridge, to make it solid. But he has to do it every 5 years. So every 5 years, he has to donate 10 pints of blood.
Oh, fuck that. I mean, go on. Like if you want to be a painter, just learn to draw.
Yeah.
That's just too
going
much.
around the National Portrait Gallery, it really made me realize that, look, all the art that looked like interesting or visually captivating or looked like a photo, you're like, wow, these artists are amazing. But
did he even have a good head? What was his head like?
You couldn't really tell because it was dried blood.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It looked like it's a big scab, essentially.
I'd need 16 pints. My head's massive. My head is massive. I've got a proper big forehead. I've got a big heavy head. You've got a big head as well, Morgan.
Oh, cheers, thanks.
Well, no, we've got big faces.
Yeah, we got big heads, yeah.
We've both got big heads. You've got a normal human side head. You might be a 9-pinter, actually, Gearoid. That's not bad.
Oh my God, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Me and Morgan are definitely rocking 12, 13-pinter heads.
Oh, yeah.
If they made a blood head of Josh, like that could keep a casualty department going for a year.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, they roll mine in like a keg into a pub.
Yeah. I've nearly got as many inches on my head as Gearoid's got years on his life. Don't come for me, Gearoid. I'll come straight back. If you've started a war.
Give him a Diet Coke, Jesus.
I'll tell you more about the National Portrait Gallery next week because there was so much stuff in there. And I'll
my cock, and it was 20 pints of blood.
When erect.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you one super quick. There was two portraits of Welsh people, but this is a testament to how small Welsh people were. When my mum said, "Oh, there's 2 Welsh people here. Look at this," she pointed to it. It was our neighbour.
Was it actually?
Yeah. It was Simon Weston. He's a famous Falklands warrior. He lived in the road behind us in Ticloy Park.
Oh, no way.
I've just went, fuck me.
Wow.
That's how small Wales is. The National Portrait Gallery has a portrait of our neighbour. Hello, everyone. That is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you are enjoying these episodes, do please comment. It really helps the algorithm, and share it with a friend. We have a main episode every Thursday and a bonus episode every Tuesday. I've got another podcast called Morgan Rees, and also My Bad with Morgan Rees, beg my pardon, and also sign up to the mailing list. There's something coming up. Josh?
I just had a silent burp. Hello, thank you for listening. My name's Josh. I've got a tour. You can get tickets at joshjonescomedy.com. Gearoid?
I'm Gearoid Farrelly, and if you want, you can... I have a Substack if you want to read some of the stuff I've written, and also I'm on tour in the UK next January, and I've just added a date in Barcelona in December.
Nice.
And I have another podcast called Agony Rants. And GearoidFarrelly.com is where you get the tickets.
Lovely stuff. Radio, we'll see you Tuesday, hopefully for the bonus episode, or Thursday for the main one. Have a great time, everybody. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Chatting with Cherubs.